Welcome to week 1, where we're going to teach you how to design your universe. Now, when you design your universe, it's really quite a simple process. You'll find that as you're doing it, some of the things that you previously may or may not have thought about will show up. And you can consciously begin to decipher what's important and what's not. And whatever you put into your design, you'll begin to notice that there will be a behavioral shift. And that accompanying behavioral shift will literally create the outcome that matches your design. And a lot of that shift is in the micro behavioral level. So you're not often consciously aware of what those things are, but you'll notice in a macro perspective that your behaviors have changed. And it's very effective. Now, why else would you want to design your universe? If you don't, it's simply going to be left up to chances, right? And or the programming of your past. If previously you've been taught that you can have X, but you can't have Y. And if you can have X, you also cannot have Z, yeah? And so let's say you really want all three, you may have to give up 2 of them. You get where I'm going with this? So there's that level of, I can only have this, there's that scarcity, and not be able to have the other things. And so the physical struggles in life oftentimes comes from that internal program, that incoherence, that conflict inside, that the person's like, oh, I can only have this, but I can't have the other things. So what we're going to share with you in this design process is a way to liberate your mind. And the way to do it is very simple. So if you're in a safe place, especially you're watching VR, I would presume that you're in a safe place where you can simply sit back and close your eyes. Now, if you were to sit back and close your eyes, you'll notice immediately when your eyelids are closed, you separate yourself from the rest of the world for just at least that moment, right? And you could allow yourself to feel that way. You could feel at peace at that moment, this moment. Go ahead and close your eyelids if you haven't already yet, and just lean back, sit back, and relax. Do it. Now, take a deep breath. Follow the process. Take a deep breath. Notice your body begin to sink deeper into a new state, a somewhat euphoric state. Let's take another deep breath. Take it slow. Another deep breath. Now, as you're doing all these things, you'll notice your mind begin to relax as well. And it's okay for you to want what you want. Because as you design what you want, design your universe, it needs to be a universe that you want. We're going to keep it really simple. What you'll find is, at first, we're going to have you design your external environment to be the way you want. What is that like? Now, you don't have to write anything down at this moment. We're going to actually share with you an exercise, a visualization exercise, that once you have finished, you can take off your headset and or put your phone or tablet, computer, or whatever down, and then you can actually go and write on the piece of paper and extract what you see, what you will have seen, and or what you hear, what you will have heard, what you will have felt, yeah? And record that on a piece of paper and or put it on your phone, whatever you want. But before that, we're going to have you allow yourself to visualize. The visualization is very simple. What we want you to do is just simply sink deeper into this relaxed state and take another deep breath. That's a very simple way of taking your mind off of all the things that no longer need to be on your mind at this moment. And as you're relaxing, you find yourself thinking, okay, of course you only want to do this exercise when you're in a safe place. So as you're doing that, and safe place means you're not driving and or operating any heavy machineries. Now, you are going to take another deep breath. Now, I'm not asking you to meditate. All I'm asking you to do is to visualize the world that you want. And it could be just your world, your personal world. In an ideal world, starting at this moment, how will your environment look like? Whether it's your home, in the town or city you live in, the neighborhood, or the building, where will you be living? Allow yourself to visualize for a moment. Who are your friends? What are the people that are in your life right now? In this ideal world. Will the people that are currently in your life change and become better versions of themselves? In an ideal world, you can have whatever you want. Allow yourself to imagine them as the most ideal version. Then what about you go and look at yourself in the mirror? What do you see? How will you see yourself? What do you see? Do you notice a stronger, healthier, happier, more sophisticated, more confident version of you. Noticing all of the things that you want to work on in the past are now complete. Being the ultimate self. That would be a good thing, wouldn't it? What do you see? What do you hear? How do you talk like when you interact with others in this ideal world? If you were the ideal version of yourself, how do you feel? How do you normally feel if you were the ideal version of you, the ultimate you? How will you feel? And allow yourself to enjoy and bask in this euphoric state of the ideal self, living in the ideal universe, having the ideal relationships and environment. And notice, your wealth is significantly more, way more. And you begin to feel a certain good feeling inside. What is that feeling? A calm sense of confidence flooding over you. That's a good feeling. Now in a moment, I'm going to want you to describe, whether it's out loud or inside your mind, what you think about the situation, what you feel, what you see, what you hear. I'm going to ask you some questions, and you can answer out loud or in your mind. Where are you living? What do you collect as income this month? Fully stepping into the ideal self, if you haven't yet, allow yourself to answer this next question. What's my relationship like, or relationships? With my loved ones, friends and family? How is my relationship like, or relationships? What's my love life like? Allow yourself to see, hear, and feel. Maybe even describe out loud. I'll give you a moment to describe that. What about the way you look, your physique, your body, your face, your skin? What about all of the above? Your wealth, how you feel, your wellness, your health, your fitness. What words will you use to describe yourself at this time? The ideal you, having the ideal body, ideal version of you. How would you describe yourself now? Take a moment. Really describe yourself. Now, what about what you do for fun? Having so much more resources, not only in wealth, in money, but in influence, also in your social network, meaning the friends, the influence that you have, the network that you have access to, but also the free time. The free time and the lack of mental load. Your mind is free. Everything's automated. Your mind is free. How do you feel now? How much do you collect? You already answered that, but I want you to really consider for a moment. What else do you receive? What will you do with your free time? Answer all these questions. Take your time, though. Answer them in your mind. What do you want? What is the ideal self in an ideal universe, ideal reality? What would you want? What do you have? All these good things. Wow. Okay. But it's not just good things and good experiences. How do you feel? Now, at this moment, how would you describe your identity? When people perceive you, how will your friends, your family, your loved ones describe you in this ideal world? How will you describe yourself? And how do you feel about that? Now, I would also like to ask you, what is important to you? If you can answer out loud or in your mind, what is important to you? Make sure you answer this question. What's important to you? The ideal you, what's important to you? And then Next, what do you believe? What does the ideal you now believe? The ideal you are the ideal you in this moment, in this visualization. What do you believe now? What is your belief as the ideal you, living in the ideal universe, having the ideal income, ideal wealth, ideal relationship, ideal everything? What do you believe? Because your belief will sustain this reality. We want to know what you believe now. Answer the question whether out loud or in your mind. And then lastly, what do you do? What do you do on a day-to-day basis? What time do you wake up? What do you do after you wake up? What are some of the important things that you do that you make a priority of, that they are priorities to you? What do you do? And what do you do on the weekends, at night? What do you do for fun, as hobbies? What do you do when you work? What do you do when you're not doing anything? What do you do when you're on holidays? Now, I want you to rapidly answer these in your mind, and you don't have to answer all of them, but I'll repeat them again. What do you do for fun? What do you do on the weekends? What are your hobbies? What do you do at work? What do you do during the day, from day to day? And how do you feel? As you answer all these questions, notice you become clearer and clearer. And such clarity is very important because the clearer you get, the easier it is for your unconscious mind to execute and create what you want and bring them into your physical reality. Now, I would like you to do this exercise as many times as possible during the course of this week. Really take the time and really do the exercise. And once you've finished this, you can actually recall from your mind what you visualized and begin to write down some of the things that you think are important, that the ideal you, the ideal design of you, your identity, yeah, who you are, and your universe, your environment, your relationships. Write down all those things, anything you want and everything you want. Extract that information from your visualization. Once you recall your visualization, extract that data and write it on a piece of paper. And if you want to organize them online, you're welcome to. You can put it on apps like Trello, or you can put it on spreadsheets. You can, or simply just keep it on your notebook. What's important is that you do the visualization first, and then you extract the data. Now, listen to this and or watch this as many times as you need to complete this exercise and refine it. I would strongly recommend that you do it as many times as you can during this week, because you're going to get truly clearer visuals, clearer visions of what you want. That ideal you, designing your ideal universe, yeah? And this is so important. This week may seem very simple, but as you're able to create and visualize in your mind, and you're able to extract that data, I'll tell you this. You are writing down from the spiritual mental plane into the physical plane. You have bridged the gap by writing down that data. What's important is that you do the complete exercise. And that as you write down those things from your visualization, you're telling yourself, you're telling your unconscious mind, you're literally symbolically, by writing it down, communicating to your unconscious mind, hey, guess what? Of all the things I could be thinking about and or have thought about today, this visualization and what I have visualized is something I'm serious about and that I want. I am even writing it down into the physical so that you know that this is something I want to create in the physical. This is week 1. Go ahead and listen to it again and or extract the information from your visualization. And your visualization will need to be repeated throughout the week. Do it as many times as you want.